All right, the rest of the NBA has officially been put on notice. Kyrie Irving is back in the building with the Brooklyn Nets. It was announced on December 18th that Kyrie Irving would be returning, but he has now cleared health and safety protocols, and he is back, and maybe better than ever. The rest of the league should be worried. I'm going to break down everything going on with the story, as well as give you my 2 cents on the whole situation. But if you could first, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get these daily update videos. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps channel out a lot. All right, so Kyrie Irving is back with the Brooklyn Nets. He has cleared health and safety protocols, and he was at practice on Wednesday, along with Kevin Durant and LaMarcus Aldridge also clearing health and safety protocols. So the Nets got a big boost to their team. Teams have been struggling with the recent COVID outbreaks, really struggling. Long list of players out. Pretty much everyone's getting it. They've been trying to scramble D-League, 10-day, two-way players, whoever. We're just trying to fill out lineups at this point. But it seems like we're getting over the hump once everyone catches it. And now the Brooklyn Nets three-headed monster is back, and they are all going to be available for road games at least. Kyrie talked to the media for the first time today, gave a little bit of insight with everything that happened. He, as you know, he was holding out due to the vaccine mandates by New York City for home athletes. So he's not going to be able to play with home games. He is not vaccinated, but he will be available for all the road games. And this is a big boost to a Nets team that is already in first place, already favorites to win the Eastern Conference. So more reinforcements. They've been dealing with heavy minutes loads on their stars, Harden and Durant, and you don't want your stars to be playing heavy minutes in December or November. They've just been really short-handed. And now everyone's kind of getting through this COVID spike with everything going on, so they should be good to go, the Nets, and I am very frightened of the Nets right now. But Kyrie, like I said, talked to the media, gave a really good insight into his thing. I'll just talk this quote right here. "I understood their decision, and I respected it. I really had to sit back and think and try not to become too emotionally attached to what they were deciding to do. I had to really evaluate things and see it from their perspective, meaning the organization and my teammates. You know, I really empathize, and I understood their choice to say, if you're not going to be fully vaccinated, then you can't be a full participant." So Kyrie kind of understood what their Nets' reasoning was. You know, it is the law in New York City that you have to be vaccinated if you are playing for a local team, not so much for a road team. So kind of tough for them, but he has to get back in basketball shape. He's missed so much time, off the court. So he's been trying to stay in shape. He said he's been playing in high school gyms and college gyms around the country, trying to keep some sort of shape. He kind of always knew he would be back. You know, he talked about how he knew the consequences of not being vaccinated, but he said he wasn't prepared for them. He was not by any stretch of the imagination prepared coming into the season. He thought I had my thought processes on being a full-time teammate and just going out and having fun and provide a great brand of basketball, but unfortunately it didn't happen like that. Things happen for a reason. We are here, and I'm just grateful for this. So Kyrie was not ready to be out the whole season with not being vaccinated. He was not ready for the backlash and just getting basically kicked off the team, essentially. But now he's back. The Nets needed him. They were desperate. They brought him back for road games. They said they weren't going to do this, but of course, everybody caves when you're desperate for players, desperate for starters. Kyrie Irving's a big-time starter coming back. I mean, and it makes sense. Everybody's been signing 10-day players, two-way players that are adding to the roster, and the Nets said, hey, we got a pretty good guy that can be a part-time player for us, and that's Kyrie Irving. So I would definitely take it. Kyrie was glad to be back in the building. Kyrie's only 29 years old. He's still a young man. He's still in the prime of his career. He just has a lot of off-the-court issues going on with stuff. It's always something with Kyrie, it feels like. Maybe he's refocused himself on the basketball. Huge get, though, for the Nets. Back on the court, even if it is just road games. They're already in first place in the East, like I said. Have to be the heavy favorites to come out of the East now. Really hard to see anything changing here in Brooklyn, especially with Kyrie back. But let's flip over to this other story. Wizard star Bradley Beal receives vaccine after DC institutes the mandate. So he's going to the opposite vein of Kyrie. Bradley Beal was very adamant about not getting the vaccine before the season. Said he was not going to get it. But a local vaccine mandate for indoor entertainment values by D.C. goes into effect on January 15th. Had Beal continued to decline the vaccine, he could have potentially been barred from playing. So he wasn't going to miss any playing time. Kind of sucks that these cities are forcing players not to play just, because of local mandates. Beal would have been a really big stand-up guy to have, on the fight against these mandates. But like I said, he caved. He's going to play. I don't necessarily blame him for it. When there's millions and millions of dollars at stake, I'd probably be thinking about doing the same thing. But he's going against what he said earlier. He doesn't want to miss any games. I don't necessarily blame him. It's just a very interesting guy to go. He was very outspoken in the offseason about not being vaccinated and not getting vaccinated and not being forced to be vaccinated. And he kind of caved. So kind of a soft move by Bradley Beal. I guess money talks, or he just wants to hoop. Maybe he just doesn't care about it and he just wants to hoop, and I get that totally. But I just want to end with this picture here. This is a frightening sight. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving back at Nets practice. Oh boy, very, very scary. I know I am petrified as a fan of a normal team. It's going to be tough here. I bet against the Nets to win the NBA championship, and they got a very good shot of coming out of the East here. So that's going to do it for us today. Remember, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to get these daily update videos, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.